I'm Harry Olafson. I'm a junior history and English double major here at St. Francis, and I was the nominee to go to the Democratic National Convention through the Washington Center. The first week, we had academic sessions, and those were led by Dr. Mina Bose from Hofstra University. And we had a bunch of different speakers come in every single day to talk to us about different themes of politics, such as media, news, politics in general, funding, political campaigns, a whole bunch of different kinds of themes. And so we sat in sessions from about 8 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, had lunch, and then we had different activities throughout the day, throughout the city. One of the big ones was called Political Fest, and that's where we would go, and there would be fun activities there, but a lot of it was learning about politics and understanding politics, and it was really meant for the general public, so we would help out there. And we would also do tours of the city sometimes and see different museums and places to see, like the Liberty Bell, super historic city. So that was a great time. And then for the second week, that's when our fieldwork placement started. And I was placed with an interest group called Emerge America, and that is the nation's largest organization that trains and promotes democratic women for public office. And I was really happy to get to work with a women's rights organization because that's something that I hold really close to me because I was my mom and my sisters, I come from a family of almost all women. Like, one of the only men in my family is my dad and then me. So it was really cool because they basically raised me, so I want to give back to them and I want to help them because there's a disadvantage in society for women that's evident in politics, and I want to use what privilege I have to help them. So I was happy to get to work with Emerge America, and I worked there at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. We had a booth set up, so I would work from about 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And then I had a man that came up to me, and I told him about Emerge America, and he was just like, why are you helping promote women's equality? Women are equal in society. And I was like, well, if you look at the facts, they're really not. And I gave him some of the facts, especially about politics. This is a political arena. I was like, women make up less than 30% of all political offices. So how can you, and when women make up like 51 to 52% of all people in America, that's not equal. That's not equal representation. So he was just like, well, there's a woman running for the highest office in the land. And I was just like, yes, that's one office, and that's fantastic, and it's groundbreaking. But there's still 20% more that needs to go. So that's why we were there promoting. The organization did support Hillary. It was a partisan organization that was promoting Democratic women. And that also made him upset because he was not a Democrat himself, and he wound up throwing stuff at me. He was like yelling at me, like, this is ridiculous. And I was just like, sir, just calm down, it's okay. And then he just stops his tirade, and he like shakes my hand. He's just like, well, I guess we can still get along even though we have differences. And I was just like, okay, have a nice day. And I let him go about his business. Another really great thing that I got to do was I got to pass out information at the caucus meetings. So I attended the Black Caucus, the Women's Caucus, the LGBT Caucus, and the Youth Council. And I got to meet so many people because of that. I met Eva Longoria at the Women's Caucus, Nancy Pelosi. At the Black Caucus, I met Donna Brazil. There was a bunch of speakers and a bunch of different people that I met. And at the Youth Council, I met Cory Booker. And on the way out, he was like shaking hands and everything. And I got to him last, and he was like, oh, I like your tie. And just so happens I'm wearing the tie that he liked, so that's why I wore it today, because he complimented me on it. And there was just a bunch of different activities throughout the night. So at nighttime, because I didn't get to go down to the convention hall each night, what we'd do is we would sit together and we'd watch the convention. And even the week before was when the Republican convention was in session, and we would watch that all together because that's what we did at nights, because the next day we would talk about it in the mornings, and it gave us something to talk about. And it was really cool because we were all discussing politics in the same arena, and everybody was actually passionate about politics in that room, so that was a really cool experience. And then there was a lot of demonstrations. I know the DNC was known for a lot of protests that happened, so I did a march for Black Lives Matter, and we stopped traffic and we marched down the street past Temple University. And that's where I had to stop because I had to go down to a party for my fieldwork placement. So I didn't do the whole march. I had to stop because I had somewhere to be. But that was really exciting. There was one, I was walking past, so I decided to join it. It was like they're trying to make the world's largest hug in City Hall. And Shailene Woodley actually stopped me, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to join this hug?" I'm like, "You're Shailene Woodley," and she's just like, "Yeah, do you want to join our hug?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I participated in that. So there was a lot of cool events and a lot of things that I got to do that I want to get to do here or experience other places. So it was a great experience. I'm very thankful for my time there.